Hey, what's up, my extreme people who work with our extreme students? I'm so pumped about this new semester and getting started off on the right foot and doing things just God's way. And I really just can't imagine what God has in store for us this year. I'm so excited. And as I think about this semester and things we want to be about, I'm reminded of a passage in Luke chapter 2 that I shared with some of you guys at leadership last week. And I want to share it again to all of our leaders so we can be on the same page about what we're doing here. Luke chapter 2 is the passage about Jesus as a 12-year-old boy. He goes to the temple, and his parents take off. He's behind, and they have to come back and find him. And it gets down to verse 52, and it says this great statement that I've been trying to wrap my mind around. It says, "And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men." And so you see Jesus in here as a 12-year-old boy. He is not all wise. He's not all knowing. In fact, it says he had to grow. He's growing in wisdom and stature, which to me means that Jesus, when he was in middle school, acted like a middle schooler to some degree. I'm not in no way suggesting that he sinned, but it says that he wasn't as wise as he was at the end of his life because he had to grow into that. And so that's helpful to me because I'm reminded that I work with 12-year-old students who aren't all wise, aren't all knowing. They don't do the right thing all the time. And so just like his parents and everyone surrounding Jesus had to grace Jesus and help him grow and to become who God had created him to be, we too are called to grace and love our 12-year-old, 13, 14-year-old students who are at middle school. And instead of getting frustrated with them, which we can get frustrated with them, we need to grace them and help them become all they can and should be for Christ. And so I just want to remind that to you because we have a lot of students that are coming to check out Extreme. They're what we call our guests, and this is our guest environment. So I just want to remind all of our leaders that we want to love kids, grace kids, take care of these kids in such a way that they'll want to keep coming back and being a part of what God is doing here. And so you play a pivotal part in that because how you interact with students, how you grace them, even when you're frustrated with them, determines whether or not they're going to come back. Actually, I've said this many, many times to you, to our Sunday morning crowd, that there was a survey done of 10,000 students, and they said the top two things that made the difference in whether or not they came back was a welcoming environment and quality relationships with their friends. Now, you might not be able to facilitate or control the relationship with their friends. You may or may not be able to. Maybe in small group you can help with that. But you can be a part of providing a welcoming atmosphere, saying we love you, we care about you, we want you to be here. And so I just want to remind you that we want to treat our students the way we want to be treated. And we also want to treat them with the mindset that they're 12-year-old students who haven't grown all that they need to have grown in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men, just like Jesus. So remember, Jesus was a 12-year-old boy, and he needed patience from maybe people around him. We deal with 12-year-old students. They need patience and grace from us. And so treat them like your guests. Treat everyone like you want to be treated. Live out the 3-2-1, roam around, meet new people, interact with them. Just let students know that you're glad that we're here and love on them, care for them. And then lastly, if you find yourself getting frustrated just because it's our guest environment doesn't mean we can't ever have a hard conversation with them. We can't ever get onto them, but we need to do it in such a way that they know that we care about them, that won't turn them off from being here or coming here. And so if you ever find yourself getting frustrated to the point where you're about to blow up on some kid, before you do, stop, count to 10, pray, come get me, do whatever you've got to do not to blow up on a kid or yell at a kid or get loud at a kid or argue with a kid. Because again, you make all the difference in whether or not they come back, your interaction with them. So please grace them, grace them, grace them, love them, take care of them, make this an enjoyable experience for them to be a part of. Because if you don't, they might not come back and they might not ever hear about what Christ has for them. And so you play a valuable, valuable role in setting the tone and setting the culture and the climate for Extreme. So please grace these 12-year-old students just like Jesus was needed to be graced, and he grew in wisdom and stature. May we help them grow in wisdom and stature as well. Love you guys. Thanks for what you do. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night.